So next topic we will discuss about file handling concept. So this topic it is extend from Python to storage communication. If already comes from file handling background, you can use the same concept, but here we will implement some different method and a different style. All our previous program concept is basic IO operation, reading data from keyboard using input function. Input function interface to Python, then process it and display to monitor, print function. So here we will use function, it's called read function, write function, read lines function, write lines. There are some different script. So extending from Python to storage communication, any storage or any data reading from storage, not reading from keyboard, reading from storage to Python. So file is basically it's part of the storage section. If I write some print allow message, that allow display to monitor. Instead of writing to monitor, display to monitor, I want to write it to storage. So any type of file, we can take ASCII file or image file, we can able to read and write the data to file. This file handling in Python, we can write in different way. Compare. So one is we can read a data from input stream. From input stream to script, that is Python. From Python to write a data to file. Reading data from input. From input stream keyboard. Create new file and write a data to file. This is one category. Second one, we are reading data. Read a data from file. So not from keyboard, then script. From script we can display to monitor. What is the difference between first category and second category? Here we are not using monitor, we are writing to file. Here we are not using keyboard, we are reading data from file. This is file operation. Third category code, we are reading from one file. Read a data from one file. From storage section to script. From script, write a data to another file. Both first category and second category will be combined into the third category code. Reading from one source, writing to another source. So in this third category steps, we are not using any IO operation. We are not using keyboard and we are not using monitor. Automatically script will take from one file and process it, writing the data to another file. If you keep all your file content, say for example server details, all the remote server details are written inside this file. So what Python will do? Python will read your data from the source. Python will read the data from the source and connect it to remote system and execute set of operation. All the executed command output writing to the command log or individual log. So as the end user, we won't see any screen output or interactive output. Recap this three category. Reading data from source, that is from input stream, to script. From script, write a data. So here we are using file handling. Create new file, write a data to file. Next one, we are reading data from file. Not reading from keyboard. The last one, read from one source, reading data from one file to script. From script, writing data to another file. So all the file operation is, it comes with this category part, storage part. Reading and writing from storage communication. So here in Python we will use some function. Before that, general file operation, open a file, then read a data or write a data to file, read write operation. This is basic file operation. After reading and writing and close your file. Can close your file. So this three step is the basic file handling and file operation. First step, before going to perform this category wise, what is the syntax of open file operation? Open followed by input file name, comma file mode. Mode means operation. There are read mode, write mode, append mode. Append means it won't overwrite your existing content. Read write mode. And followed by read binary files, any image files, JPG files, create write image, like this all is called mode. What is file name? Reading data from storage means you can use input file. If I want to create new file and write a data, you can use result file, including file path. Once open operation is done, we will get acknowledgement file object. Using that we can read and write. At the end we can close it, the file operation object.close. And see the syntax of open file operation. Open, first argument file name, second argument mode. So before enter the file operation, understand our file program, file handling concept will cover the three category. One is user level program, user level. So Python, it's part of user level code. Python followed by our script .py or anything. This all it comes with the user layer, user level code. The next one is called kernel, operating system, kernel level. User space to kernel space, user to kernel, user to kernel. So between this user interface to kernel, that entry point is called system calls. These are the operating system view. System call interface to the file system, driver interface to control, like this all its operating system part. That operating system device control will connect with the corresponding hardware section. So the system is generally divided into three category. Hardware section, it will everything like our hard disk or storage disk, it's a part of. Now the file handling concept, the data reading from hard disk. In file handling you are creating new file means writing the data to disk, storage device. So recap the architecture view, user level or user application, kernel operating system, the middle layer kernel, that bottom layer is called hardware section layer. So Python, it's an interpreter, it's a part of user level process. Python, it won't talk to disk directly. Python will send some set of request call with the help of this. This will convert to internally system call, file system, driver, interface to controller. Controller will map your hardware. So where the data is located, where the hard disk is located, where the data located inside the disk. If you want to read data from file, we need to check with where the data already, the existing data. If you want to write the data to file, I want to create new file, writing data to file, again we have to interface with the device. So understand the file handling concept, it's a part of the storage section code. We'll reading, writing everything on the secondary memory storage part, storage section code. So the code will be divided with this three layer, user space, hardware kernel space and hardware section layer. So when you say open followed by function call operation, interface to your operating system entry point will connect to the driver, interface to the relevant section, hardware section code will fetch the data, copied all the data on that file system space, on the kernel space, and this will send the acknowledgement to user space. So for example, you can say this example, open followed by file name. I want to read one sample CSV file from my read mode. Mode is called or read mode. This is acknowledgement of file operation. Acknowledgement, this is not a data structure. So every programming language, the return type of file operation, file pointer, file reference, file handler, file object. Here Python we are using file object handler. This is not a string, it's not list. This is basic acknowledgement view. The file is available, file is exist, we can able to read, then we'll get acknowledgement. So here we are using the file handler view, open followed by emp.csv. If file is remote location, you can write absolute path. So I'll repeat, I can take this example. Here I'll show you in paint diagram. This is internal view concept in Python. Say for example, user space program, that is user space code. Python, it comes with this part. Then we'll connect with the operating system. Operating system, it's a OS part, kernel view. Kernel will interface to hardware section code. So hard disk will be placed inside this. Or here I'm taking example hard disk, any storage device you can take. So now the disk, it's divided with multiple sector level. So this is all the bottom section, hardware section. Each block will be divided with multiple sector code. The disk will be get partitioned and it will be mounted with your file system. mounted the file system mounted with the kernel space, and all the file system metadata, file system data displayed as a directory view, that is operating system view level. Now my data is located so and so data in so and so location. What Python will do? Python will send request to process. Will send request to process to operating system. Operating system will request to the respective hardware. The hardware section will fetch that, will find the data and will fetch the data back. Will fetch the data. So this will comes within the OS part. In OS part, there is some internal virtual address will get created. All the data are placed inside this. So basically here I am writing some virtual address view. This is address space. All the data will be placed inside this. If it depends on the file content, number of element data, it will get. If 10 line content on this, on 1000 line content on such inside this internal address space view, file address space. Now this acknowledgement, this is, we are using the term file handler. This acknowledgement input to this acknowledge to Python. Python will give the name is called file object or file handler. File object or file handler. Using this file object that address dot read function, we are reading the data where we are reading from this address space. Reading this address. Once if it is finished read operation, the entire file content data will become to be as a string format. Data 1 to data n number of data, this all will become to be string format data. So once if it is read operation is done, what happen internally, this address space will become to be empty. That address space of the memory, not in the storage part, in the kernel space, this address will become to be empty. So again you can try to read. Now you can say, for example, 0x memory will be there, but inside there is no data. So again if you try to read file object dot read function, the output returns will be empty string. Output will become to be empty string. See the data flow sequence. The flow will start from here. Sequence flow start from the step 1. Reading data from storage to script. Operating system entry point. That this is all the internal point. Okay, this is all the internal view. So it will find the data, it will find search the data location, will fetch the data placed on this. This address will be the acknowledgement to file handler. Then file operation is the next operations. Initialize to the storage, then file dot read function. Read always return will be string. Once if read operation is done, what will happen internally? Internally that address space will become to be empty. I will show you this step in programming way. Can say this example. I want read on data from file emp.csv. I'll put fh.read function. The entire CSV file will be the string format. See the output. There are some CSV format of file. All the file content will be in that single string format. Now again I want to read the same. See fh. What is fh? Fh is called this complete address view. Again I am reading, it will become to be empty string. Because once the read operation is done, that address data will become to be empty. This view will be empty view. So you are reading on empty data, empty. That's why the result will be empty string or empty data. After that you can close your file. So reading the data and writing the data all string view. Now see that file operation. Python will connect with the help of operating system code. This is with help of open is a request call to operating system. Operating system interface to hardware, fetch the data. The fetching the data here, everything will be string format data. Once open operation is done success, return will be this way, this type of file, this type of view. This is the file handler or file handler view or acknowledgement view. So in file handling there are different functions. Reading the data from file, we will use this function. Open followed by complete file operation dot read function. The output will be string. You can close the file. Closed. Another one more way we can read data. Open followed by file fh dot read lines. Read lines plural word. Return will be list. Again if you read, this will become to be empty empty list. Understand, once the content is read from that buffer space, the buffer will become to be empty. This will, after finished one single step read operation, this will become to be empty data. So we'll get empty list. Read always returns will be string. Now we can use the recap of data structure topic and data structure operations. Reading data from file. Reading all the data from file displayed as a single string format. If you use read function, return will be string. Read lines, returns will be list. List means each line will be one content. See the line. Number of line, it's equivalent to number of length, size of the list element. So before coming to file handling topic, you need to recap your list topic and string operation. We should know the string and the list. This two type of structure we will use in file operation. Output will be list. Then you can apply all the list slicing, list indexing, list manipulation style operation. Read returns will be single string, so we can use string manipulation. We can't use looping inside. A string type loop means character by character count. We can use loop as a list element, number of line based. So after finished read operation, close your file operation. Object dot close. Close your file operation. File will get completed. So this is a basic process for file operations view. Understand difference between read function, read lines function. So all the read function, read lines, it comes with here in that user space section. If you put read lines, returns will be list lines, list output. Again, if you read lines, that list will be empty. Okay, so understand the basic file operation. The first category, or else you can take this one, write a program or read a data from emp.csv file to script. From script we can display data to monitor. Reading data from, so this is file operation. Remaining print operation, we know how to write it. The first syntax in the command line, that means a file operation, input file, including you can write absolute path name followed by mode. Read mode we can use or read mode, or it's optional. Even if you not write any parameter, any argument, by default will be read mode. Or you can write open followed by input file including absolute path followed by or read mode. Using this return value, this read operation return will get acknowledgement address, that is view. So using this return operation, you can initialize to variable followed by, will get value f dot read function or f dot read lines. You can use any one. If read function means this Python understanding return type, read lines Python understanding returns type. So this output will be string, this output will be list. List means it's like collection mixed element. Each file content line will become to be list element. After finished, you can close your file. Object will get closed. So I'll initialize to open followed by you can type emp.csv file, output file object handler. Using read, this output will be string output. You can initialize to s value, print s value, display the file content and close your file. This is one way we can use read operation. Reading data from file to script, script to display to monitor. This is a step. If you not used any mode, by default mode will be read mode. So using that acknowledgement is in our paint diagram point of view, this one. So 2.0 version, I will show you the same code in 2.0 version, Python 2.0 version. Open your file, some remote file I am reading, followed by read mode. See the acknowledgement. So all the content inside this memory, we need to open this memory. How to open this memory? Initialize to file object, then file object dot followed by read function. Read entire file content will be single string. You can see the output. This is in single step. We can read entire configuration file, the complete configuration file in the Linux machine. So 2 point version, you will get this acknowledgement. So the complete acknowledgement, it's called file handler or file object, file handler view or file object style. Okay, so here we are not in 3 point version, we are not using that acknowledgement. Instead of this, it will be encoded. So that complete acknowledgement, we are using its file handler. Using the file handler object, read function, read returns will be string, Python understanding format. The same, f followed by open your file operation, emp dot your input file csv, followed by f dot read lines. The output will be list. Output will be list view. So you can check length of list or length of element, a number of line, including empty line, it will get calculated. In regex topic, we will discuss how to ignore the list, how to ignore that empty line, how to ignore this some particular pattern and all. See the difference between function return. We didn't declare any variable initialized value. Function returns string, function returns list. So we know the data structure, how to handle the list. If the elements are list, it's more flexible. I want read last two line. I want read last two line element. You can put -2 : slicing. Last two line from the list, like a filter. I want to print first two line. Use colon followed by 2. First two line content. So we can use all the slicing technique, indexing technique. If you want print first line, 0th index. See the difference between read and read lines. So what are the method you studied in the list topic? All the method we can implement. This is the way category for reading the data from file to script, from script to display to monitor. So it's complete programming way. If you want write, we can follow this way, like initialize to variable object, print display to monitor. Or we can use looping. From loop we can fetch one by one. So each line end /n. /n will be a record separator, default record separator. So we studied one string topic. Remember, data1 end /n. Like this, some string followed by data end /t, and some other variable data is followed by end some space. So there is a function string.strip function used to remove the /n character and /t character and even space character. This is string handling function. Now same style here, list inside all the elements are list. It's type L is called list. List inside the number of elements end with the /n. If you use for variable in L and we can print v value, it will print a new line. So whenever you're reading the data from file, it will read automatically, including /n will get read it. So we can remove that /n characters. How to remove this? For variable in list, we can use string handling concept. v.strip. Just you can put strip open and close. Line end with v.strip, it will only runtime operation. Runtime operation. Either you can print v.strip directly, but this will not update in original string. We can print like this, or else we can initialize v equal to v.strip, initialize to local variable. Initialize to local variable, we can print v. It will print line. Now see the output difference. Output difference. List element for variable in, from v I am printing strip operation. For variable in. So what is L? L it contains this all this data. So how to connect with the loop? v.strip, it is only for current output view. So don't confuse with the duplication. I will repeat. The first I am using 2 times print v variable. One is this v and second one is again I am using print. So I will write it. One second. Variable in list. See the looping operation usage. v.strip to remove the /n character. Now see the output. Here there are 2 print. One is string output. Directly we are printing string.strip. So if we use list, we can use all filter operation step. So understand the file operation concept. How to read data from file. Remember, file operation, it comes with this 3-layer view. User space, interact with operating system, to storage. We'll fetch all the data to individual address. From this address we can read the data. So we are using this category, reading data from file to script, from script to display to monitor. We are using string and list concept. So Python will talk to OS, will connect it to OS, will interface to OS, OS will talk to disk or any storage. The storage part, it comes with hardware section. The same response back. Okay, so this is basic file handling and file operations in Python. Next class we'll discuss how to create new file, write data to file. Okay, we'll discuss in next class. Thank you.